Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad. Ishmi'anu elam yuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad. L'shimo tifiret v'liti la. Lecha dodi likrot kala. Kanei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrot kala. Kanei Shabbat nekabela. Likrot Shabbat lechuvin elcha. Ki mekor havaracha. Rosh mikeptem nesuka. Sot maaseh v'shal chatila. Lecha dodi likrot kala. Kanei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrot kala. Kanei Shabbat nekabela. Bohui v'shalom ateret bala. Gam besimcha u'botzechola. Toch emunei yam zegula. Bohui chala. Lecha dodi likrot kala. Kanei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrot kala. Kanei Shabbat nekabela.
So now we're going to, that was the Kabbalat Shabbat. Now we're going to begin the evening service. And so remain standing and turn to page 39A for the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamborach. Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Vaed. So you may be seated, and we will continue in English, reciting the first bracha at the bottom of page 39A. Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tzevaot is your name, living and ever-present God. May your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk. El Chai V'Kayam, Tamid Yumlok Aleinu Li'olam Vaed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari Barabim. So, turn to page 40, the Ahavat Olam, and I think it's also in the song sheets.
Ahavat Olam, Beiti Yisrael, Ahavta. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. The song of the trees when wind stirs their leaves. The song of the earth when rain soothes its thirst. The song of the sea when waves are set free. The song of the sky when hummingbirds fly. Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam. Beit Yisrael, Ahavta. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. The song of the trees when the wind stirs their leaves. The song of the earth when rain soothes its thirst. The song of the sea when waves are set free. The song of the sky when hummingbirds fly. Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam. Beit Yisrael, Ahavta. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'kol levavka, uv'kol nafshecha, uv'kol me'odecha, v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavka hayom al lebabecha, v'shinantam lebanecha, v'dibata bam B'shifteka b'beitecha, uvlefteka b'derech, ushofbeka uvkumecha, ukshatam liot al yadecha, v'hayu latotafot bein einecha, uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha, ubisharecha. So we'll now take a few minutes to either read the continuation of the Shema on page 42 or a meditation of your choosing. Emet, page 44 for the Mi Chamocha. V'ne'emar ki pada Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miyad hazak mimenu, baruch atah Adonai, gal Yisrael. Page 45 for the Hashkivenu. And again, this one is also in the song sheets.
Sukkot Shlomecha L'chaim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu le'shalom ve'hamidenu mokeinu le'chaim Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu le'shalom ve'hamidenu mokeinu le'chaim u'le'chaim.
Let's read together in English the second half of the Pashkivenu, starting with Shelter Us on page 45. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you, God, watch over and deliver us, and you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Ufrosh aleinu sukkot shalomecha, Baruch atah Adonai, haporesh sukkot shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. Page 46, Vishamru.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ובני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei rabah, v'yamad dibra kirutei, v'yamlich malkutei, b'chai yechon wed kol Israel, bar gala, ubizman karib, v'maru, amen. Yehei Shemei Rabba Mebarach, V'alam ulal me'al maya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yifar, V'yitwamam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitada, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal Shemei Dekudisha, B'rihu, Le'ela min kol bi'achata, V'shirata, tushbechata v'nehemata damiran bialma v'imaru. Amen. In just a minute, we'll stand for the Amidah, which extends from page 47 to 52. But I just want to mention that today is Rosh Chodesh. This is the first day of the month of Av. And this is actually a very important Rosh Chodesh. And on page 50, there are a few lines in there to commemorate Rosh Chodesh. So as you're saying the Amidah, you might include those few extra lines on page 50. And I just want to mention that today, being the Rosh Chodesh for the month of Av, it starts a very important 9-day period, which is actually a very depressing 9 days, because this leads up to Tisha B'Av next weekend, which is the 9th of Av, on which many serious calamities befell the Israelite community. We will talk more about what these 9 days mean and about the significance of Tisha B'Av next week. But this is the beginning of this critical 9-day period. So let's rise for the solid Amidah on page 47. Okay, we're going to continue with Shalom Rav. Just turn back to page 51.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amha Nasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amha Nasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amha Nasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amha Nasim Leolam. Tov einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael v'chol etu v'chol shah bishlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amha Nasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amha Nasim Leolam. Nasim Leolam.
So let's all say this seventh bracha, the Shalom Rav, in English together, because I think the sentiment is so important. Grant abundant and lasting peace to your people Israel and all who dwell on earth, for you are the sovereign master of all the ways of peace. May it please you to bless your people Israel at all times with your gift of peace. Page 54 for the Kaddish Shalem. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, b'yamad dibra kirutei v'yamlich malkutei, b'chayechon u'b'yomechon u'b'chayei d'kol Beit Yisrael, b'argala u'b'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mebarach, v'yalam ulal me'al maya, yitbarach, v'yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yifar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, V'yitada v'yitale v'yitalal shmei d'kudisha b'richu leila min kol b'achata v'shirata tushb'chata v'ne'emata da'amiran b'alma v'imru amen. Titkabal v'slot u'barhuton d'chol Yisrael kadam abuhon di bishmaya v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'hayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Okay, this would be the time that the rabbi would break out to do a sermon, which I'm not going to do. I'm not going to. I don't have the ability to give sermons the way the rabbi does. But I just wanted to do a little show and tell. And I have actually two items here. Now, those who obviously who are not in the synagogue probably can't see this very well, but I encourage all people who are in the on the premises to come up and look at these items, because both of these items were fashioned by one of our congregants who passed away a couple of years ago, Jim Conlon. He was a wonderful sculptor, and he used many different media. And I mean, he has wood sculptures in the Museum of Art. This happened to be, I think this is a wood carving, although I'm not absolutely sure. And a lot of prints were made of it. And it's actually this door. So that, I mean, it's an amazing piece of work, which must have taken him, so long to make. So, I think it's really a very notable piece of art. But the one that I really want to show you is this sculpture. Now, I know that many of you have already seen this sculpture, but for those of you at home who have seen it off on the wings, to me it looked like a nun, a woman in a habit. But when you get close, you see that it's really not a woman in a habit. It's actually Moses. And Moses here is holding the Ten Commandments, and he's looking very stern. I guess this was before he dropped them, before he smashed them. But of note, and even if that were the only aspect of this stone sculpture, it would be very notable. But even more important and more notable is that on the back of the sculpture are hands which represent God's hands, so that there's something to show for it both on the front and the back. And so I think it's just a wonderful depiction and a wonderful sentiment, so that I encourage those of you who have not really examined it closely to come up after the service. It'll be on the side table, and to look at it. Okay, so we're going to postpone the Kiddush and the Chamotzi for a few minutes. Before we get to the Aleinu, let me just give you the announcements for the coming few days. As you know, tomorrow morning there will be a service here, Shabbat's morning service, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Monday, there will be no Tanakh study. And Tuesday, the rabbi's classes are canceled. That's the Hebrew adult class and of the Spirit. And on Thursday, if any of you have young kids, there will be no story time for kids. Now, next Friday, though, is really an interesting day. First of all, there will be a Tot Shabbat, but it'll be at the home of Carrie and Dan Krause, and that's in the bulletin if you're at all involved. But more importantly, we are having another Guitar Shabbat next Friday. And this is the first time, and this is a unique occurrence, the first time that we've had two back-to-back Guitar Shabbats. And I think that that's a credit to Yehuda for having the fortitude to do this 2 weeks in a row. So please come next Friday for a Guitar Shabbat, and at 6 to 7 as today. I should mention tomorrow night there's Havdalah service. Okay, let's see. On the rest of the doings and goings on, you can find in the bulletin. So let's do the Aleinu. Let's rise for the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol latet gedula liyotzeh bereshit shelo asanu kuchiyeh haratzot v'lo samanu k'mishpakot hadama shelo sam helkenu kahem v'gor aleinu kekol hamonam V'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu Notesh Shamayim v'Yosed Aretz, Umosha Yikaro Bashamayim Mimal, Ushkinatu Zo, Begabhe Miromim, Hu Eloheinu Ein Od, Emet Malkeinu Efezulato, Kakatu Betorato, Viadata Hayom, Vahashebota El Baracha, Ki Adonai Hu Elohim, Basham Yemimal, Vial Haaretz, Mitachat Einod. Katu b'toratecha, Adonai yimlo le'olam vaed, v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. You may be seated. On tonight and tomorrow, we commemorate the following yortzites of people who have passed on the dates of 1 through 7 of Av. Morris Sheridan, Ben Lubell, Annie Prince, Suzanne Kam, Ida Bell Brook, Ida Muchnick, Nathan Sobel, Oris Gerhardt, Irving Rygrod, Albert Jett, Zelda Perlman, Erwin Marcus, Morris Berkowitz, Seidel Lichtenfeld, Dr. William Gerwich, J.B. Michelle, Bert Gerwich, Leo Berman, Sidney Rossner, and we note the recent passings of Dr. William Levy, Myra Buckman, and Murray Muchnick, and Jerry Smith. Are there any other names to be mentioned? Okay, those reciting Kaddish, please stand. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah. Bialma dibra kirute v'yamlich malkute. B'chayechon u'byomechon u'bchaye dekol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'bizman karib v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mebarach li'alam u'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitfar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitada v'yitalev v'yitalal Shemei dekudisha. B'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nehemata. Damiran bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'hayim aleinu, v'yal kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. So comfort to all those who mourn. Okay, we're going to close with Adon Olam on page 211, I think. Let's see. Yes, on page 211.
Try this in the key of D. Adon olam, Masher malach, B'terem kol, Yitzir nivra, Li'ed nasa, V'chef sakol, Azai malek shemo nikra Adon olam, Ve'acharei kiplot hakol, Avado yimlok nara Adon olam, Ve'hu haya, Ve'hu hovei, Ve'hu yeh v'tifira Adon olam, Ve'hu echad v'yein sheni, V'ham shelo lahakbira Adon olam, V'li reishi, V'li tachlit, V'lo ha'hoz v'ham mitzra Adon olam, Ve'hu eli, V'chai goali, V'tzor hivli v'yitzra Adon olam, Ve'hu nisi, V'manosli, V'nakosi v'yom ekra Adon olam, V'vahado akid ruhi, V'yet nishan v'achira Adon olam, Ve'im ruhi, Yeviyati, Adonai v'vohira Adon olam, Asher malach, V'terem kol, Yitzir nivra, Li'ed nasa, V'chef sakol, Azai malek shemo nikra Adon olam.
Shabbat Shalom. Let's do Kiddush and Chamotzi. There's wine and grape juice and challah, hopefully fresh, on the back table.
So Rich, I know you'll remember this, how much trouble I've had finding a good key to sing that song in.
You want grape juice, correct?
Okay, everybody get wine or juice. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzabanu v'shabak kodsho b'ahavah u'bratzon hinhilanu Zikaron Lamase Bereshit Kihu Yom Tehila Lamikra Ekodesh Zeker Letziat Mitzrayim Kibanu Bahata Vyotanu Kidashta Mikol Hamim V'shaba akord shecha b'ahava u'bratzon hinhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Okay, I hope that each of you will have a little bit of challah or bread.
Oh, shame dunk.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.